So you want to increase your conversion rates from your ads, whether you're running on Meta or Google or whatever. These principles should be universal, but here's a couple of things that you should do, and here's a couple of things you should not be doing to increase your ad conversion rates, especially today in 2026. So first of all, before I get into the tactics, the question is, why do you want to increase your conversion rates? Well, it's pretty obvious. You want to try to make more sales. You are trying to find more people to help at a profitable rate. Maybe you have a funnel, or maybe you have an e-commerce store, and so you want to get as many people as you can, first of all, to your landing page or to your website or to your app, whatever you're running. And you want to get people to convert, meaning you want them to come into your world, sign up on the landing page, get your free ebook, join your community, join your school community, whatever the thing is, at the lowest possible price. Let's say on a landing page, on an opt-in page, you're going from 5% to 10% to 20% to 30%, and you are trying to iterate and change and make changes on those things, right? You want to get your ads to convert at a higher rate, so you got to do a couple of things. Now we're specifically talking about ads, right? And so what happens when you increase your conversion rates on your pages? Usually your cost per acquisition goes down, and or Meta will be able to use that budget in a better way. It gives the pixel more information, gives the pixel more data. Instead of, let's say, if you have 5 people, you made changes, and your conversion rate now doubles, then you're going to have double the number of people tomorrow, right? So what happens is now you got more events going to Meta, and so Meta can now go find more of those people. More data to Meta is better for everybody. We're here because we want to learn how to increase the conversion rate on that opt-in page, right? So whether it's a free ebook or free training, whatever the thing is. So the question is, how do you do that? Because we know that if we have 100 people coming to this page today, and let's say 20 people opt in, that means we have a 20% conversion rate on this specific page. Irrespective of what ads cost, irrespective of what the CTR is on the ads, irrespective of what the creatives are with testing, blah, blah, blah. All that aside, we have 100 people coming to this landing page, 20 people opt in, 20%. And we want to try to raise that to 25%. We want to try to raise that to 30%. We want to try to get as high as possible. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how we actually get there. This one thing, if you do correctly, can actually help you skyrocket your ads. And that big thing is changing your ads. Because 9 times out of 10, what I've seen is people are running the wrong ads, or they're not testing ads enough. Meaning, they just don't have enough lines in the water to actually test, to actually say, hey, these changes or these ads are going to target a different audience, or these ads are going to target a different angle. So what do I mean by that? Well, since Andromeda was launched late last year by Meta, the targeting of Meta has now moved from interest-based targeting, meaning we select in the platform which audiences or which interests we want to target, to creative testing, meaning the audience that we're looking for, the interests, so to speak, that we had before, need to be in the ad copy, or they need to be in the ad itself. So what happens is now, because you're making, in the past, we would make one generic ad or maybe a couple of ads and then test different audiences against that ad. And so it was audience to ad creative match that we were always looking for. And then obviously when they get to the landing page, it's like, what's the conversion rate? Now, today, as it stands, that is combined. The creative and the interest targeting is in one place. But it's necessary to test all the variables that exist because your interest groups might be vast. You've got to think about, well, how many different variations of ads can you make? How many different styles can you make? How many different variations of titles can you make? Here's an example, right? You're a life coach, or you're somebody who's a high performance coach, and you are trying to target a whole bunch of people. You could target people who are working in corporate jobs. You could target athletes. You could target studio owners, right? Writers. But not just any writers, you could target authors. Anybody who's sort of high performance. High performance means entrepreneurs. You could target founders, right? Different group of people. Just life coaches, right? Maybe life coaches need your help as well. I think you get the point, right? You can target a whole bunch of people. Each type of person is going to be a different group of people. Meaning, right? You could write an entirely different ad for athletes, which is not going to be relatable to authors, unless the author is also an athlete, which maybe they are. But probably for an author, like all they're thinking about is they want to write, that they want to write books because that's what they want. But writers could be a number of different people. Underneath writers, you could have blog writers. You could have writers who are ghost writers. You could have copywriters, screenplay writers, right? You could have whatever, people who write film. What I'm saying is that underneath writing, there's a whole bunch of things. And then let's say, for example, for copywriters, you could have ad copywriters, right? You could have copywriters who specialize in landing pages. Maybe there are copywriters who specialize in only social media. Copywriters who do ghostwriting for Twitter, to help these people grow their following. Like you could take this and you can slice it a number of different ways. But the point I'm trying to make is that from an ad point of view, each one of these different ad creatives, let's say we have underneath this writers thing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different variations of people, and each one of those categories might convert at a different rate on your page. It comes down to, once you've done your ad testing, that you actually need to have a page that's specifically for writers. If you're sending a certain type of person to a landing page, and that landing page is written in a generic way or designed in a generic way that's not going to appeal to the people that you're sending to, your conversion rate's going to be lower. But if you hit your audience on ads and it matches the landing page copy, then you're going to do a far better job at converting them. And so that's the number one thing that I would suggest you do, is test multiple ad creatives. You need to test multiple variations, multiple angles, multiple interest groups, multiple demographics, multiple age groups, multiple everything, in order to convert at a higher rate on your landing page. This is the second part of it, is right, okay, once you've tested the audience, and this is where I suggest you start before you make any changes to your landing page. Like, make sure that your landing page is at a point where it's generic enough, but it's kind of written in a way that it targets the people that you're trying to target. In this example, it was like high performance coaches who want to work with writers. Okay, so now you make a landing page, you have your main landing page around writers, and you can target them in various different ways. You can mention them on the page in various different ways. And so then you're going to be specific, but also general to just writers. And then you target those 10 groups. Create ads that are interesting to those 10 groups of people. And then you identify and you say, oh, actually, the copywriters who are writing ad creative, those are the ones that I want to work with, because those are maybe the people who want to be more high performance than others. Like, this is a weird example, but the point I'm trying to make is that you can be specific in your ads, and you need to be specific in your ads so that your landing page conversion rate actually increases. You could increase your landing page conversion rate, but you might drop the sales of the product that you're selling. And the reason for that is because maybe the people that are coming from ads or that are coming from organic, whatever, they're coming to your page, they're opting in for the free thing or for the thing that you're giving them, but the paid thing maybe they don't want to buy. And so it's now this balancing act of, okay, which interest groups are we targeting? They're coming to the page, and the page has certain copy on it. And does this product actually match the audience in terms of giving them what they want and what they need? That's why an overall vision of what your funnel is doing is important. Now, if you didn't know, I actually do this stuff for a living. Like, I literally look at ad copy, I look at landing page design, I look at landing page copy, I look at all the analytics around everything, and help founders convert. If you want some help, there's a link in the description. Come over to my school community and come hang out. I do a weekly call where we go over specific things. Bring your questions, bring your pages, and we'll talk about them, and we can go over, and I can do a bit of an audit and try to figure out what your conversion rate, like we discussed that, and I can try to help you to increase your conversion rates, increase your sales from your traffic. So this is something that I do in the community, and I'm inviting you to that because, well, it's a good thing to know exactly what's going on with your funnel. It's a good thing to know what's going on in your business, because that's how we grow and that's how we inspire people.